Yes, I know I missed December, but look, man, it was Christmas and I work in a retail environment. It happened. I am, on the other hand, making sure that this one gets out before January starts. Yep, I know, last day, but hey, at least I'm getting it out there. So, the previous month's roundup will kind of be a little bit of a what I played slash what came out duo thing. So you know the things that were at least interesting that came out in December, and then we'll jump into January. Let's get started. First up from December was the Callisto Protocol. Now, I had a good time with this. I actually played it, well, I had a few friends in a Discord call, and we had a good time plowing through this one. It took about 9 hours to finish, and it is quite linear. It also has this unfortunate effect where a lot of the weapons replace each other instead of having distinct upgrade paths to do different runs with different gear. But I honestly had a good enough time. The environments were fun to run around, the enemies were really fun to kill. Yeah, it's overall great, and trust me, Visceral has not forgotten about those violent death animations. Next up, I played 3 hours of High on Life, and I have no intention of playing any more of it. It's not nearly as clever as I think it thinks it is. The jokes don't land nearly as often as they really should for a comedy game. Most of it's just lol, edgy humor, and in that weird stuttery style that I don't really appreciate. Yeah, this sort of humor works in small doses. 30 minutes of a Rick and Morty episode, sure, but over the course of a game, look, like I said, 3 hours and I was out, and I have no idea how even long this game is. I am not going back to it. I know some people have actually found that a more humorous game has been very refreshing lately. I'm unfortunately not one of them. I have not yet had a chance to play Marvel's Midnight Suns, but I do want to get around to it at some point. It actually looked like a pretty fun game, and I would have really liked to have sunk some time in. I do love a good tactics game. I don't really like the whole thing where you've got to, create relationships and explore the chateau. I'd rather just, get in and do the game part. I'm not really big on these relationship things. They're kind of infecting turn-based strategy games a bit, and I'm not super about it. But hey, look, it still looks strong enough that even with that, it's definitely on my radar, and I will definitely get around to it at some point. Also coming out in December was Need for Speed Unbound, and I gotta say, this is the first time I've actually wanted to play a Need for Speed game. The kind of graphic art style, graffiti thing they were doing for this game is interesting, and it looks like they're going back to more of that sort of arcadey roots of the franchise. I've seen some good reviews for it, and I might pick it up at some point. I will admit I'm not a big racing game guy, but yeah, I mean, sale happens, it's probably going to end up in my library. A friend of mine got me to reinstall and give some of the new content for Guild Wars 2 a go, and yeah, that's eaten an awful lot of my time. That game is really still holding up great. I hadn't played it since the first expansion pack came out, so with 2 whole expansion packs and a bunch of Living World content, I've got so much to dig through, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Like I said, it's a great game, and the base game is now free, so if you've never given Guild Wars 2 a go, now's a great time. The content was on sale over Christmas, you might still be able to get it cheap, and I would highly recommend it. Yeah, I'm gonna go lose a lot more time to this. Oh hey, who'd have thought the last game was Warframe? I mean, it's always Warframe. It continues to be Warframe. I kind of just fell into a real comfy groove in this game with Warframe this month, mostly because, like I said, you had all that Christmas retail hullabaloo going on, so having a game that didn't ask an awful lot of me but was just genuinely quite fun was really good. I've been spending a bunch of time grinding for the new frame, still haven't got it yet, still gonna put some more time in. Yeah, still love Warframe. And that's what I played / was interested in but didn't get around to last month. Yeah, there's only a couple things for January, and that's a good thing. I'm still pretty wiped out from Christmas cash flow wise, so only having 1 or 2 games to pick up in January is definitely good. let's see what they are. First up on the 20th of January is Fire Emblem Engage. This seems to be a kind of a best of the Fire Emblem series. We're going to see a bunch of old heroes and new ones, and yeah, I mean, I like Fire Emblem. I like turn-based tactics games. I'm kind of hoping they don't do something as like the school from the last one. I never liked any of the school stuff. I just wanted to get onto the battles. But look, I love Fire Emblem. I'm gonna buy it, and they do some of the best tactics games out there. On the 24th of January, we get Forspoken. This game has been kind of kicking around for a while now, and I'm getting a little worried. It's been delayed a bunch of times. But look, the movement looks really good. It hopefully will be fun. I mean, they had to put out a patch to make the Bangles talk to you less, which isn't a great thing to have to happen. But look, I'm hopeful. It looks fun. I like the idea of the fighting system. I like the idea of the scale of some of the fights. It's definitely on my radar. Whether or not I grab it or not, we'll see. But I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on it. Last up, on the 27th of Jan, we've got Dead Space. Now, this is the remake of the original Dead Space game. I'm kind of one of these weird people who doesn't think Dead Space really needed a HD coat of paint. Its style still speaks for itself, but I am pretty keen for this. All the new lighting engines and things, and having an engine that isn't held together with Prit, Stick, and Hope would actually be really, really good, because if you try and run some of the stuff with original Dead Space, it can break in weird ways. So definitely having a better way for newer people to experience it, good thing. Hopefully they might tighten up some of the weapon trees as well. That'd be good. But honestly, I hope it's really just creepier looking Dead Space, and that's it. That's all I want. I will definitely be getting this one. I definitely want to check it out.